Sweet angel, carry on. All my blessings are yours alone.
Hi guys, alright, so it is time for a cycle update. I am DPO right now. Today is Wednesday night, so actually when you guys are going to be watching this, it will be 9 DPO. So we completed the first week of my 2-week wait. Actually, I'm a little bit more over. I'm not going to talk about even any symptoms because the fact is with now having 5 pregnancies and none of them having the, that symptom that I get and I can go, you're pregnant, there's nothing like that because first pregnancy, absolutely nothing. Second pregnancy with my, no, these are my pregnancy with my son, nothing. Nothing. I was just a little bit moody. But the only symptom I'd say would be moodiness, but I don't notice it. It's really like my mom notices it and my husband notices it. My mom noticed it more when I was working with her. Now that I don't work with her, she's not with me for, 8 hours where she would notice you're moody. So that was about it. I was moody with him, but no symptoms at all. My daughter, I felt sick at the exact same time, and it was 3 days in a row that I felt it, and I said, you know what, that's it, I'm taking a pregnancy test, and sure enough, I was pregnant. So then our pregnancy in January, nothing leading up to, I just kept randomly getting hot. But then I experienced that later on in when I would get AF. But that was it. It was just I felt hot. And all we had been testing because we were hoping I was pregnant. So now my pregnancy in April. No symptoms, nothing. And obviously that didn't make it. And this past one was just that I got winded going up the stairs. That now your typical symptoms, because even I don't think you guys actually saw it in May where I actually went like testing crazy, as my husband put it, because I swore I was pregnant because I felt so sick. I was, throwing up, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. I have morning sickness. What is this? And then it happened again in June, and I was same thing. What the heck? And so, of course, then I went to talk to my doctor about it, and she said, looking at the symptoms of your period and pregnancy, she said they can be the same thing. She's like, and every pregnancy is unique. Same with every pregnancy symptoms early on. So, yeah, so I'm not going to talk about any symptoms I have because they mean nothing. You can choose to really like analyze your symptoms, or you can do what I'm doing and going, I don't care. These could be just, period symptoms. Sorry, I know you guys don't like that I yawn, but I'm doing this at 11 o'clock at night, so because I didn't get to do it earlier because things got nutty. So, that's where we stand. I plan on testing on Halloween morning. When AF is due, I don't want to test early. I talked to my doctor about testing early, and she said where my possible progesterone problem might be at 5 weeks, And she said it's possible that they're going to check my progesterone once I get pregnant, but she said what they're going to do is I don't need the progesterone to get pregnant. I just need it to possibly sustain a pregnancy. And that's how she explained it, because I said, well, do I need to test early? And that's how she explained it to me. I don't need it to sustain it because my levels were good right at the beginning. So she said that's so she said if I don't want to drive myself nuts for 4 days, she's like, I would just, she's like, test when you're comfortable, don't test when, she's like, some patients, she's like, we do tell them, she's like, some patients we actually put them on progesterone, and we do encourage them to test early. She's like, but you don't need to. She said at 4 weeks, well, when my period is due, because that's what she said, they're not going to prescribe it if it's a chemical pregnancy. She said basically I have to hit 4 weeks, and then they'll prescribe it. So my period is due on Halloween, so if I call her, I would get it that day. So so sorry. But that's kind of it. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was, because Haley, in your video talking about your testing, because remember I've I've been through it. It sucks. All the testing for a reason for reoccurring pregnancy loss. You had mentioned that you don't understand why they're doing an HSG. I didn't either. When I went in, I said, I don't get it. I do ovulate. Obviously, I can get pregnant. Because I always had it, my neighbor had one done, and they don't have any kids. She only had one pregnancy. It was actually at the same time I had mine in January. And we ended up miscarrying the same day. It was kind of interesting. But anyways, enough of that. So when I was talking to her, I said, why why do I need it if obviously I can get pregnant, it's just staying pregnant. She said there can be polyps and fibroids. She said they can cause recurring pregnancy loss. She's like, and sometimes fibroids and polyps can cause problems with getting pregnant. She said polyps, she said you can actually end up with one big enough that it works as an IUD. She said, but she said we would have seen, she said, or we would have had more symptoms if it's that big. She said, but it can be something very small. She's like, which then we just kind of watch it. But yeah, that's what they do it for. And just to check the structure. She said they don't really care about it going through my tubes, but it will go through the tubes. But she said, but they're pretty sure they're clear on. She asked me if I do feel ovulation on both sides, and I said that's a weird thing. I've never felt it before until December of 2011. So, and speaking of that, November 12th of this year will be one whole year that we have been TTCing. It'll be the longest we've ever TTC'd. I know some of you guys are going to go, oh, a year's not that bad, especially when you have 2 kids. I guess a year wouldn't be, for me personally, a year wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't that we kept miscarrying. Because it's not even been, a whole year, because we've had all those cycles of, okay. But it has been a year since we started this journey of trying for baby number 3. It's really kind of sad and a humbling experience as well. Not that I ever took any of my pregnancies for granted. It just makes you realize that little that little baby is definitely very precious because it's hard.